Tito, timing-wise, what made this a good time to get an extension and make sure that you're here for a while?
Well, I don't think there's ever a bad time to stay here for a while. I mean, because of how I feel about this entire place. Chris had come to me earlier, I don't know the exact date, earlier in the year, and just asked me if I was interested in exploring something like that. Because when you do something like that, you always run the risk of hurting feelings or not getting it done, and we certainly didn't want that to happen. But I told him honestly that I really didn't want to move on from here. That all the things I said in what I think is really cool, you watch every manager in their press conference, their first press conference, they say all these things, and they're all true, they all feel them. But what's really cool for me is 2 years later, I'm getting to live them out. And I still feel the same way 2 years from now, except maybe stronger than I did that day I got hired. And for that, I'm really grateful.
So along those lines, have there been some things here that have exceeded what you thought they might be when you first got hired?
You know what? I knew how I felt already. I had relationships with Mark and Chris, but I didn't know Mike Chernoff and Derek Falvey and Sky Andrchik, that group. I really hadn't really met them. Now working with those guys, Ross Atkins, and I don't want to leave out names because that's no good because there's a lot more. But being with those guys for 2 years, we're a pretty tight-knit group. And I'm talking about all the way from the clubhouse kids to the trainers to Paul Dolan to Mark we do things together. We have fun doing it. We run into our share of challenges and we try to tackle them together. And I do know that during the toughest times, and there are a lot of tough times during the year, that's probably when I appreciate being here the most. So that's a good thing.
You talk about the people that you work with, the situation that you're in. I know the city is a part of that too. You've worked in 3 very different baseball cities, no question. And what is it about here that you like so much?
Well, I grew up 80 miles from here in a very similar type environment. Midwest values. Cleveland, I think, is kind of almost a little bit like maybe our team and maybe even myself. You get pushed around a little bit, get kicked a little bit. Now you're ready to kick back, fight back. And for where I'm at, maybe not just in life, but in baseball also, being here is something that I'm really grateful for. And I know that in our game, and Rosie, you're around it, you see every day. You walk by my office every day. I'm always sitting there, same place every day. It's like Groundhog Day. If you don't enjoy it, it can run you into the ground. And I know that every morning I wake up, I'm excited to come to work. I'm excited to come to work with who I work with. And even when things aren't going the way we want it to, I'm excited to try to tackle those challenges because I know the people I'm doing it with, I know they care about me and I know I care about them.
On the field, you took over a club that was struggling in the years before you got here, and it's back-to-back winning seasons, a playoff appearance. Did that part of it come quicker than maybe you thought it was? Because it seemed like it would be a big job when you took over.
You know what? It's funny because I don't think I ever really look at it like that because every day seems like a big job. I mean, last year, there were so many struggles last year. So many things didn't go the way we wanted them to go. Yet, we got down to the last week and, we needed some help and we didn't quite get there, but we had a chance. I don't think you ever quite just say this happened or this happened. We stay in the moment so much, and you hear me say it all the time, and it's because I believe it. I think if you stay in the moment and you do the best you can, at the end of the year, you're going to look up and you're going to be where you deserve to be. And hopefully one of these days, that's going to carry us a little bit farther than it has so far.
You're going to be here for a while now with the contract extension. You have some key players who are in the same boat, the Michael Brantley's, Corey Kluber, Jan Gomes, Jason Kipnis, among others. How important is that now that you're a part of that and can grow with that too?
I actually checked with a couple of the players. That's a little bit of a sensitive subject because you're trying to keep it semi-private when you're doing a contract, but I checked with a couple of guys because I wanted to make sure, because I believe this is about the players. And certainly this is the way I make my living, and it's important to me. But what's the most important is the players. And I wanted them to be comfortable knowing that I was going to be here also or I wouldn't have done this.
We're recording this in the Terrace Club. Behind you is a big project going on, renovations out in right field. Fun to know that you're going to be a part of that too.
I'm probably more excited about this than most people are, because that's the view I have every day. And I think where our city is, I think this is going to bring us more in line. I think it's going to be more intimate. I love it. I'm really excited. Can't wait for opening day to show up and see what the ballpark looks like, and to see what some of the people in our offices that have all these ideas, see what they can do with them, because I think it's going to be really cool.
And in closing, this stage of your career, maybe you feel differently about Cleveland now than you would have when you got the Philadelphia job or when you went to Boston. Is this the right time in your career to be here at this spot?
You know what, Rosie? I thought Philadelphia was the right place. I mean, shoot, I was 37 years old. I was so honored that somebody thought I deserved to be a major league manager. You know, and then you get older and you hopefully learn and hopefully get wiser. Not always sure that's the case, but you try. I just know that from what I've been through, all the experiences, you try to take what's really important to you and factor that in. And when I do that, it always comes up being here. And Chris and I have talked about this at length. And it's just, I don't want to be anywhere else. And I'm not sure I care about who makes the most money. I just want to be in a place where I can be happy, because there are so many challenges in this job that make it so difficult that being with people, the right people, is really important.